All right, another month, another Marvel streaming series to talk about. First of all, spoiler alert, because you know when I talk about episodes of television or streaming series, I get spoilers. So Marvel's What If is a series that's actually a pretty brilliant series. It's a series of hypothetical episodes of what if this one thing was different, what if this person zigged instead of zagged, what if Peggy Carter became Captain America, or Captain Britain. It starts out with the Watcher narrating. It looks like he's going to be the narrator for all these What If episodes. Voiced by Jeffrey Wright, which completely makes sense. Why? Because if Jeffrey Wright has a typecast, it's genius, brilliant R&D tech guy who also might have a very intricate understanding of the multiverse. I just kind of assume that about him. Though beyond assumption, he did show to have that understanding in source code. So I just think he's a great voice for the Watcher. And I love how this was executed. So this is Peggy Carter becomes the super soldier instead of Steve Rogers because of one thing. She was like, no, I'm gonna stay. And the Watcher's even like, all right, that's the moment. That's the moment that created this fork that would lead to a very different outcome. And I love that. As explained many times before in many pieces of entertainment and whatever YouTube videos you might be watching, PBS Space Time or whatever, it's the small changes that lead to a vastly different outcome. So I appreciate the fact that in this What If episode, the first episode, it's this one small decision, seemingly small decision, that leads to a vastly different outcome. So the bomb goes off, they're like, oh, we're about to lose the super soldier program. Peggy Carter's like, I'll get in it. Howard Stark flips the switch, she becomes Captain Carter, and they spend the next 30 minutes doing one thing and one thing only.
Killing Nazis.
Yeah, they don't take scalps for trophies, but nobody's perfect. Also, the animation and sound design, I thought was really smooth. The animation looked great, and the sound they're actually MCU sound. Not like it's a video game adaptation, so it sounds a little different. I mean, it's Marvel Studios, so they're gonna have the same sound effects, but you really feel that when the vibranium shield is smashing into helmets, smashing into soldiers, smashing their heads to the ground. In a fight scene or sequence, I like the animation that's just like one frame. Boom, bam, and concrete just cracks. I dig it. That's what they did in here. I really felt the impact. That's what I'm looking for in something like this. But this episode does answer that decade-long question. Could the plot of Captain America, the First Avenger, be crushed down into 30 minutes? Yeah, I mean, it's not a play-by-play, but they pretty much go through the main beats of the plot of Captain America, the First Avenger. They have the train scene, the train blows up, you think Steve Rogers dies. He has a big mech by Howard Stark, which at first I was like, what, Howard Stark made an Iron Man suit, or an Ironmonger suit anyway, in World War II? But makes sense, because Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. So I suppose his dad could build a big mech suit in World War II. But it was neat to see things play out differently. It was neat to see Captain Carter come to the modern age with actually Samuel L. Jackson voicing Nick Fury. She basically comes through the portal the way Loki did, but it was her, and now she's in the 21st century. I like that Jeremy Renner was Hawkeye in that one scene. Samuel L. Jackson was Nick Fury in that one scene. The voices, for the most part, were the people you knew from the live-action versions, save for a couple. Chris Evans is not Steve Rogers, also, as we saw from the trailer. Robert Downey Jr. is not going to be Tony Stark. Those guys are like, I got my money. I will now enjoy the beach. I don't know, that's what I would do. I'd be like, you can find me on a cruise ship somewhere. Or in space. I don't know, we're sending people to space now. Why not? And I guess in one of the episodes to come, when T'Challa is in it, that's actually Chadwick Boseman, so that'll cut deep. Gone too young. This shit just messes me up. There are no guarantees in life. Hug your loved ones. But in the end, I'm enjoying the concept of Marvel's What If. Half-an-hour adventures that are hypotheticals, or at least a glimpse into another reality. All the build-ups in this half-an-hour episode, so sometimes it did feel like this episode was going really fast, like it didn't stop to breathe. What was still really entertaining kind of mentally takes me back to the original Star Wars Clone Wars series. Not the Clone Wars series, but Clone Wars. Season 1, anyway. Season 2 had a more linked narrative with the episodes, but Season 1 was like these 3 to 5 minute episodes of just, all right, here's one scenario. Moving on to the next for the next episode. And it was pretty sweet, and I loved it. It's like that, but, you know, half an hour long. The possibilities of what they could do are literally endless. They could do a new season of this show every year and never run out of ideas. On a personal note, this whole thing just kind of wraps into how I see consciousness and reality. I see reality as a Plinko board. Yes, the Price is Right game, where every possible path of the Plinko chip is actually played out in different universes. Every decision is a peg, and every decision you make is the Plinko chip hitting the peg, bouncing either right or left depending on how you hit it, what decisions you make. So your consciousness is continually moving through the multiverse based on the decisions you make, as is the consciousness of every other version of you. That to me is just kind of how I see consciousness and reality, where Plinko chips bouncing down the board based on the decisions we make, the decisions being the peg that bounces the chip here or there. Anyhow, that's my take. That's how I see it. All right, so Marvel's What If Episode 1, the episode with Captain Carter. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.